Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Episode 10 Review, Equality of Mercy. The following contains spoilers for Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Episode 10. The Season 1 finale of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is a love letter to the series that started it all, and at times shot-for-shot and line-by-line remake of the Star Trek. The original series episode, Balance of Terror, which originally introduced the Romulans to the franchise. The hour gives us a glimpse at a potential alternate future in which Pike is not disfigured or paralyzed and retains command of the Enterprise, but it's one that comes at a terrible cost. The idea that Pike would finally try to change the future not to save himself but to save one of the cadets that die in the accident that disfigures him is so perfectly on brand for the man we've gotten to know over the past 10 episodes. We've seen him arguing repeatedly with Una that he can't change his own fate, but when the life in question is a child standing in front of him who just wants to join Starfleet and serve, it's lift us where suffering cannot reach all over again and damn the potential consequences to the larger timeline of the universe. Next 360p 720p HD 1080p HD Auto 360p About Kinetics v 197230 About Kinetics v 197230 Visited by a version of himself from the future who's rocking a Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan Admiral's uniform and who claims to have been sent by the monks of Boreth to show him what will happen if he tells the cadets their fate. Pike is essentially granted a trip to the future in which he handles that initial Romulan meeting first depicted by the original series. One in which he makes different initial decisions than Captain Kirk did, ostensibly to show him how bad things will turn out if he tries to change what's already been written. Might it matter in a future episode that Pike is now also the only Starfleet commander who actually knows what Romulans look like? Maybe. Since so much of this episode takes place in an alternate reality, it explains why last week's episode felt so much like a season finale, with the death of a major character, the hopefully temporary departure of another, and something like a victory against the season's most dangerous enemy. After all, most of this episode technically doesn't exist by the end of it. Save for the season-ending coda that sees Una getting arrested and, I assume, Pike definitely breaking up with his sometime girlfriend played by Winona Earp's Melanie Scrofano. Read more TV How Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Episode 9 sets up original series character return. TV Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Episode 9 Review, All Those Who Wander. Though the arrival of Paul Wesley's James T. Kirk, or at least a version of Wesley's Kirk, will likely drive the bulk of conversation in the wake of this finale, A Quality of Mercy is, in my mind anyway, an affirmation of all that makes Christopher Pike what is essentially the platonic ideal of a starship captain, a big-hearted reminder of the best of what not just the Federation, but humanity in general, is meant to both be and become. Because whether or not Pike's fate really is carved in stone isn't actually what matters, it's that he's not willing to risk the fate of his friend, or the rest of the galaxy, to save himself. A Quality of Mercy is also an incredibly strong showcase for Pike's collaborative style of leadership. He seeks input from others, waits to hear everyone out, and listens to what they have to say. He doesn't get angry when his team disagrees with him and is capable of admitting when he's wrong or when someone else has a better idea than he does. Admittedly, I was incredibly worried that Strange New Worlds would feel the need to put Pike and Kirk at odds, or somehow definitively choose a side between them, insisting that one man's way of being a captain was somehow better or more right than the other. And given the foundational myth that is Kirk's identity within this franchise, I think that we all know the way that likely would have gone. Instead, the show allows both Pike and Kirk to shine in ways that are exceptionally specific to them both and plays to each of their strengths as leaders. Despite the fact that Pike's attempt at diplomacy fails, Strange New Worlds thankfully never implies that he was wrong to wait, to hope, to try for something better in a world whose default state is often aggression and suffering. Instead, the series hints that such an effort is always worth it, simply because we believe a better world is possible and someday, someone is going to choose it with us. Heck, Pike comes so close to peace, even in a timeline in which he's been assured he's doomed to fail. And perhaps we don't say it enough simply because he makes it look so effortless, but Anson Mount's performance this season is such a gift to every fan of this franchise. This show honestly wouldn't work without him, or the essential mix of big-hearted warmth, empathetic kindness, and vaguely southern steel he brings to this character. His Pike feels groundbreaking for all the ways he is not the captains who came before him on screen. And if this show does nothing more than successfully model a different kind of way to handle the entire concept of command, then I think it's more than done its job. Plus, we forever stan a man that knows his way around a kitchen. I've said before that figuring out the person he'll become as a result of the foreknowledge of his own death will be Pike's life's work. Something that will require him to repeatedly make new choices that affirm and reaffirm the one he made on board back on Star Trek Discovery. In A Quality of Mercy, he's confronted with a horrible reality. That in saving himself or in simply trying to save the two cadets that will die in his care, he'll doom Spock to the life of agony he was originally promised and condemn the galaxy along with him. And what a gut punch that must be, because no matter how good a man you are, the knowledge that your life will be specifically less valuable in the grand scheme of the cosmos than someone else's has got to be a pretty big dose. As my also very southern grandma would have put it. Yet Pike isn't angry, he's just glad that he can save his friend, that he can protect the futures of those who will follow him, and that he still has time to do the right thing. With the news that Wesley's Kirk will be sticking around in some capacity next season, I can only hope that the folks behind the scenes of Strange New Worlds understand what some of us read. I've been saying from the very beginning, that this show doesn't need the legacy appeal of a character like Kirk to succeed, and in fact is generally better off without him. There are so many stories still to unravel here, and I know I can't be the only one who wants to see them play out on their own terms. This show still has so far to boldly go, in the best ways imaginable. Bring on Season 2. Get the best of Ghnbfv. As a digital producer by day, but a television enthusiast pretty much all the time. Her writing has been featured in Paste magazine, Collider. Read more from Lacey.
No. No.
Star Trek: Strange New Worlds Season 2. The second season of the American television series Star Trek: Strange New Worlds follows Captain Christopher Pike and the crew of the USS Enterprise in the 23rd century as they explore new worlds and carry out missions throughout the galaxy during the decade before Star Trek, the original series. The season is produced by CBS Studios in association with Secret Hideout, Wheat Road Pictures, HMRX Productions, and Roddenberry Entertainment, with Akiva Goldsman and Henry Alonzo Myers serving as showrunners. Anson Mount, Ethan Peck, and Rebecca Romijn respectively star as Pike, Spock, and Number 1, along with Jess Bush, Christina Chang, Celia Rose Gooding, Melissa Navia, and Babs Olusanmokin. A second season of Strange New Worlds was confirmed in January 2022, and filming took place at CBS Stages Canada in Mississauga, Ontario, from February to July 2022. The showrunners continued the first season's episodic storytelling approach, inspired by the original series, giving each episode a different genre and tone. Many of the regular actors and several guest stars portray younger versions of characters from the original series in this season, which also has a crossover with Star Trek: Lower Decks. The season is expected to premiere on the streaming service Paramount Plus in 2023, and run for 10 episodes. Contents: 1 episodes. 2 cast and characters. 2.1 main. 2.2 recurring. 2.3 guests. 3 production. 3.1 development. 3.2 writing. 3.3 casting. 3.4 design. 3.5 filming. 3.6 animation. 3.7 music. 4 marketing. 5 release. 6 references. 7 external links. Episodes edit. No overall NO. In season title directed by written. Cast and characters edit. Main article list of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds characters. Okay. No, 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 oh, no, no, so, and I was bad. No, 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 I don't know better than do. Please, yeah,